You are barefoot on a dirt pitch in Brazil and a scout from one of the biggest clubs in the world is watching you play. You do not know this yet. You are just playing, and in 4 years, you will be standing in a stadium with 80,000 people. But right now your shoes have a hole in them and your mother is making rice and beans for the 4th night in a row. Level 1, the grassroots player. You grow up in a favela on the edge of Sao Paulo where the streets are narrow and loud and everybody knows everybody, and the pitch at the end of your block is concrete with no nets and you love it more than any place on earth. You are 7 years old. You play from the moment school ends until your mother screams your name from the window above. You play with older boys who are bigger and meaner and faster, and you learn quickly that skill is the only currency that buys you respect on this pitch. Not age, not size, skill. The older boys foul you hard in the beginning. They want to see if you cry. You do not cry. You get up and you do the same move again just to prove a point, and they start laughing, but not at you. They are laughing because they are impressed and they do not know how else to show it. Your father played semi-professionally for a club in the interior before an injury ended everything. He never talks about it, but you have seen the photographs. You have seen the way his eyes go somewhere else when he watches you practice in the yard. He does not push you. He does not have to. The hunger is already there and it did not come from him. It came from watching what happened to him and deciding that was never going to be your story. By the time you are 10, the concrete pitch cannot contain you anymore. Your touch is too clean. Your vision is too advanced. Your local youth coach, a stocky man named Roberto who coaches for free on weekends because he believes in something, enters you into a city tournament. You are 2 years younger than most of the players in your bracket. You score 7 goals across 3 matches. Roberto makes a phone call that weekend that you will not find out about for another 3 months. Level 2, the Academy Prospect. A club van picks you up on a Tuesday morning and drives you 40 minutes across the city to a facility that looks like something from another planet compared to your concrete pitch. The grass is perfect. The goals have nets. There are separate pitches for separate age groups and coaches with clipboards, and the whole thing hums with a kind of organized intensity that you have never experienced before. You are 12 years old and you are terrified. There are 60 boys here. All of them were the best player in their neighborhood. All of them were told they were special. And now you are all standing on the same immaculate grass trying to figure out who actually belongs. The first week is the hardest week of your life up to this point. The technical demands are higher than anything Roberto ever asked of you. The coaches correct things you did not even know you were doing wrong. Your first touch under pressure. Your body shape before receiving. The angle of your run. The timing of your press. Everything is being rebuilt from scratch and it feels like somebody is dismantling something you spent years constructing. You go home after the 3rd day and you sit on the edge of your bed and you think seriously about quitting. You do not quit. You think about your father and his photographs and you go back on the 4th day. By month 3 something extraordinary happens. Everything the coaches were drilling into you starts to feel natural. The corrections become instincts. And you begin to understand that all those months on the concrete pitch gave you something none of the other academy boys have. You can improvise. You can find solutions in chaos. Because chaos was the only environment you ever knew. The coaches start calling you by a nickname. Not your full name anymore. Just one word. The way Brazilians do when they know someone is going somewhere. You are 14 when the club offers your family a contract. Not a professional contract. An academy contract. A stipend. A commitment. Your mother cries at the kitchen table and you pretend you are not crying too. Level 3, the senior signing. You are 17 and the piece of paper in front of you has more zeros on it than anything your family has ever seen in one place. Your father sits next to you in a conference room with air conditioning that is too cold, and men in suits who are very friendly in a way that your father quietly does not fully trust. He squeezes your shoulder before you sign, not to stop you, just to remind you he is there. You sign it. The celebration at home that night is the best night of your childhood. Your mother makes everything. The whole building comes through. Your old neighbors from the block. Roberto drives across the city. Your father drinks 1 beer and spends most of the night looking at you from across the room with an expression you will not fully understand until you are much older. But Monday comes, and Monday does not care about celebrations. You report to the first team training facility and you are immediately invisible. Not disrespected, just invisible. The established players have their routines, their groups, their hierarchies. You are a 17-year-old kid with a fresh contract and no appearances and absolutely nothing proven at this level. The veterans are not cruel, but they are not warm either. You earn warmth here. You do not receive it. Your first reserve league match is against a club from the interior. You are so nervous during warm-up that one of the kit men notices and quietly tells you something you will remember for the rest of your career. He says the crowd does not know what is happening inside your body. Only you do. So decide what they see. You score twice, both tap-ins, nothing spectacular, but you are on the scoresheet and your name goes into a report that the first team coaching staff reads every Monday morning. 3 months later, you are on the bench for a league match, not playing, just there, just in the squad. But the stadium holds 45,000 people, and when you walk out for warm-up the noise is physical. It hits your chest like a hand pushing you backward. You stand on the pitch during warm-up and you look up at the stands and you think about the concrete pitch and Roberto and the hole in your shoe, and something in you goes very quiet and very certain at the same time. Level 4, the European export. You are 20 years old and your agent sits across from you in a restaurant in Sao Paulo and slides his phone across the table. There is an offer on the screen from a club in Portugal. Not a giant, a mid-table club in the Primeira Liga, but Portugal is the door. Everybody in Brazilian football knows this. Portugal is where you go to prove you can handle European football before the bigger clubs come looking. The decision almost destroys you. You have never lived outside Sao Paulo. Your mother is here. Your father is here. The neighborhood that built you is here. Everything that made you who you are exists within a 40-minute radius of where you are sitting right now. And someone is asking you to leave all of it for a country you have never visited, a language that is close to yours but not quite, a football culture that will not care about your story or your background or what you overcame to get here. You go anyway, because the alternative is staying comfortable, and you did not come this far to be comfortable. Lisbon is cold in February in a way Sao Paulo never prepared you for. Your apartment is clean but small and quiet in a way that feels wrong after a lifetime of noise. You call your mother every night for the first 2 months. Sometimes you call her twice. But the football is exactly what you needed. The pace is higher than the Brazilian league. The physicality is more direct. Defenders here are organized in ways that feel almost mechanical. Their shape, their press triggers, their recovery runs. You have to think faster. You have to move the ball faster. And your natural ability to improvise, that gift from the concrete pitch, becomes your weapon in a league full of players who were taught to follow systems. You finish the season with 11 goals and 9 assists from midfield. 3 clubs from Spain and England are watching your last 4 matches in person. Level 5, the marquee player. You are 24 and you are at the biggest club of your career so far. A proper giant. Champions League football. A stadium that holds more people than some Brazilian cities. A manager who has won titles on 3 continents and who chose you specifically because of how you play in tight spaces under pressure. And you are the best you have ever been. Your body is at its peak. Your recovery is fast. Your sharpness is consistent week after week in a way that felt inconsistent at 20 and uncertain at 22. You understand the game now at a level that your younger self could not have accessed, because understanding requires failure, and you have accumulated enough failure to finally see everything clearly. You score in your Champions League debut. Not a scramble. A first-time finish from the edge of the box that goes into the top corner and leaves the goalkeeper motionless. The stadium erupts and you run to the corner flag and you look up at nothing in particular and you point at the sky and you think about your father and his photographs and you let yourself feel it for exactly 4 seconds before your teammates crash into you. But the weight comes with the level. It always does. The expectations at this club are not human. They are institutional. You are not allowed bad games. Not publicly. Not really. The media dissects every performance with a precision that feels personal even when it is not. Your agent is managing interview requests, sponsorship deals, national team politics, and contract extension conversations simultaneously. Your face is on billboards. Your name is in transfer rumors you never started and cannot stop. You go through a stretch of 8 matches where you do not score. 8 matches. At any previous club in your career, 8 matches without a goal would be unremarkable. Here it becomes a crisis. A columnist writes a piece questioning whether you were worth the transfer fee. Your manager defends you publicly. Your teammates say nothing negative, but the dressing room has a temperature that you can read clearly after 5 years as a professional. You respond the only way you know how. You go back to the basics. Early morning finishing sessions. Film. Simplifying your game until the confidence returns. You think about the concrete pitch in Sao Paulo. You think about Roberto. You think about the boy who got up after every hard foul just to do the same move again. You score a hat trick in the next match.